Welcome back to the stream. This is Mike, the diving developer. I'm just upgrading my PC. I'm using some really old components, and frankly, with Windows 11, it's just been a grind. I do firmly believe that you can make, a great deal of good content and develop software using old tech. This is an 8th generation Intel-based PC, but sometimes you do need to upgrade. So I'm moving to a 13th generation Intel. I've got like alerts here. Okay, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. I guess we'll find out. Right. Before I open the case, quick drink. Keep that down there. Here we go. Glass is a bit dirty, but you can't actually see my PC. It's kind of stuffed down the side of my desk. Okay, so I'm just going to start taking stuff out. One of the first things to come out here is the graphics card. Actually, this PC has got thumb screws. Hopefully, is my face in the way? Let me move my face. There you go. It's better than that. Move my face from one side to the other. Okay. So we are using a thumb screw. Give me a sec. Okay, just gonna pop this. Oof. Yeah, sure, they're thumb screws, but I've tightened them really tight. Just loosen that off a little bit. I'm not taking it out just yet. So big chunky modern graphics cards have got these extra power lanes. So I'm just going to remove those here. Okay, now because actually what I'm doing is I'm going to end up putting the same motherboard back in here with the same graphics card. I'm going to be using exactly the same power supply. So I'm going to use, it's just the same basically, but I have to take it apart first. So I'm just going to do that. Oops. Remove the graphics card. It is taking up quite a bit of space. I'm going to put my finger on the other side here. Just fix it screwdriver. Give it a little push. Underneath here is a small catch. Press that right. Oh gosh, of course there's another screw. 2 screws. It's a double height. Okay, let's try that again. Right, so the outside here is non-conductive. This is non-conductive. In here, you've got to press this little piece. Oh, come on. And the card should just come out, but I'm not going to pull too hard. I've got to make sure all is well first. What have we got going on? Yeah, exactly. See, right here. Right, let me turn the lights in the office up a little bit. There we go. In here, we push that down. And pull the card out. Are you stuck in there another way, or am I just being overcautious? I think I'm just being overcautious. There we go, guys. We have a graphics card. This is the GeForce RTX 3070. I can really recommend this in terms of performance per watt, or indeed per pound. It's great. It's the MSI version. It's great. Lovely graphics card. I'm just going to pop you down over there. Got a few other things on this motherboard too. Oh man, I recently bought this. This here is a PCI Express 2.5 gigabit adapter. So this is a Ethernet port here, Ethernet port, but it's 2.5. Yeah, it's 2.5 gigabit GBE. What am I saying? I told you I've had too much to drink. My replacement motherboard actually has 2.5 GBE. This card cost me about 50 quid or so. So, I don't know. Maybe when I come to sell this motherboard and CPU and RAM and everything, I'll include that. But I don't really need it. So what else do we have running along the bottom here? We've got some stuff. I mean, these are just like headers, right? Oh no, this is that's actually LED lighting. Here we've got a header for something. Well, that's actually for the audio, believe it or not, which is not used, but you know, I like to connect stuff for completeness. What's this header for? Dunno. It's for something. It says U31G1334, but I don't know. Just give that one a little wiggle, and this one a little wiggle as well. This one's the main set of pins, you know, these are the ones that control your power, the reset button, hard disk drive, you know, LED flashing, that sort of thing. And it's on top of this other little riser, which just makes it easier to put in. Basically, you can put these pins here directly onto the motherboard, or you can plug them into this thing and then plug that into the motherboard. It just makes your life easier. In here, we have SATA drives. I've got quite a few SATA drives. Now, I kind of want to keep the SATA drives, but not for long. So what I'll probably end up doing, because I route the cables here through here. This case is fantastic. It's a Fractal Design R6, I think. It is old. But basically, we route the cables all the way through to the backside to make this bit here look pretty. I kind of want to keep the drives, but the drives aren't going to stay for long. And I do store the drives away in here. I'm not adding any extra drives with this build, because the drives, well, I am, but I'm using M.2s, which kind of are built onto the motherboard. And in fact, that is something I want to take out of here. I think there's an M.2 under this, which I'm going to want to take out. So let's remove these SATA cables. 1, 2. Underneath here we have a couple more. 3. Yeah, there's quite a few drives in here. 4. And a couple more. Now, to be fair, these drives are going back in, but only insofar as to copy the files off them. I'm not actually going to have drives. I mean, look at this. Look at that. You can avoid all of this with M.2 now. Right, I actually need to use my other hand. So what I'm going to do with this is just pop it here, so you've got some light. I say you've got some light because, you know, I'm doing this for your entertainment. Another SATA cable out. Okay, cool. So that's SATA's free. This here, this DDR is just going to stay. There's 32 gigabytes of DDR4 here. This is an all-in-one CPU cooler. This is actually liquid cooling. It's just pumping liquid through. And then it's exhaust, you know, it's got a big radiator here. It's a large 120mm radiator, I think, along the back. Okay. This is staying. I'm not even going to take out the case. I am going to remove this off the CPU, of course. Here, there's usually a little clip, but it's a big bad boy. Let's pop that in there. Here we go. Wow, wish me luck. I mean, look at those header pins. Look at that. Look. Crazy, huh? I think AMD use less, but you know, it's Intel. I think it's 24 pin. And that, for now, is nearly everything. We've got to do the CPU cooler. But before I do the CPU cooler, I'm going to grab a quick drink. And a quick CLVN. How you doing, dude? Who are you? Boom. How's it going? Hey. Now I should be able to kind of like... Oh, Calvin, how's it going, bud? Were you out partying with Dylan recently? I should be able to kind of like put your comment like in the stream. I should be able to like highlight you and stuff. Okay, hang on. Do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do, guys? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, right now, do this. Just wait. Yeah, funky, huh? Look how I'm doing this. Look at this. Right, so I can kind of put your chat in there, sort of. If I... You know what I mean. Okay, look, guys, I don't know if this is working. Even Calvin, there you go. I don't even know that. I'm trying to get the chat in there, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. You can use a text overlay on OBS. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Somehow, I need to look into it. This is literally the very first time. I'll tell you a lie. Actually, I've done a couple of streams. I did Stray, that cat game that came out on PS4. And a couple of other bits and pieces. But like, this is the very first time I'm using OBS on my Mac. You're actually running this through a Mac rather than a PC. But anyway, yeah, it's a big PC build. Got some cool shit here. Right. Okay, I have to keep going, I'm afraid. Otherwise, this is just going to be a mess on my desk and the cat's going to sit in it. Right, what we got here is this one here. This cable is the one that tells the CPU cooler how much power to use, basically. That's it. It's kind of like a CPU fan header. Under here, if I remove this thumb screw, and then the opposite one here on this opposite diagonal, then this one here, and then this one here. I should be able to do this. This is kind of nerve-wracking, really, because this is the cooler that sits on top of the brain of the PC. Okay, something just gave up there. Okay, why aren't you coming out? What's going on? I'm going to carry on. I'll just spin these screws and I just hope that they open. Oh shit! Right, yeah, they do. They do come off. I've got them in my hands. Okay. Great. And then, yeah, it comes straight off. Oh. And here is all of the old, really gross thermal paste you can see here on the CPU and on the CPU cooler. This is quite old. I installed this years ago. So this is an Intel 8th gen. We're now on the 13th gen, which means, Calvin, if you are still watching this was installed when you started high school. Okay, so it goes back a little way. This is not a new PC by any means, but the stuff that's over here, yeah, this is all really cool stuff. I mean, this is cool too, but you know, times move on. Right, the next thing that's attaching the motherboard to the PC case itself is these screws. We've got a number of them. A number of these small screws. It's kind of like a game now of spot the screws. There's probably 6. There's one here, one here, one here. So there's 3 along there. There was one there. There's one there. Oh god, so there's some actually in here behind this all-in-one cooler. I'm going to see if I can remove them without taking the cooler off, because that would just make me unhappy. Okay. I've had too many beers tonight to start moving the all-in-one cooler. There's another one. Here's another. Jam that in here. Here's one more. And here's another. Okay, cool. Right. There's more. There's 3 more. And they're in a really crap place. But fortunately, I got this bendy thing. So I can actually attach this to here, and then kind of like bend it to try and get those screws. I don't think we'll see. Sorry for looking at the back of my head. What I think I might... Yeah, sorry. It's just no way around it, really. No, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to remove the all-in-one cooler. But I can't remember how I attached it. Actually, if I just remove the fans off the all-in-one cooler, that probably will be enough. Without having to do the whole cooler. Cooler's full of liquid, so I don't want to drip it everywhere. That would be the end of my PC, or at least the end of the old PC. Cool. So here's one of the CPU fans. It's actually not that dirty, surprisingly. And I'll have to do the other one too. Okay, but the actual liquid-cooled radiator that sits behind it is going to stay. I'm not going to take that out. Don't think I need to do that. Okay, here we go. Probably going to run this stream, I don't know, for another 25 minutes, half an hour. Don't think this is going to take me too long. Okay, so my fans are out of the way. All-in-one cooler's out of the way. I can now attack the last 3. Okay, so we've got another pin out here. I'm not sure what that was for. Okay, here we go. It's another screw. Now, if you were with me last night, you'll have seen that I've actually already pre-prepared the motherboard and installed the CPU and the RAM already. So it should just be ready to do a drop-in replacement. Okay, I think that CPU, this motherboard should now be mobile. Are you ready for this? HBOM118, welcome. Very well, thank you. Is this Harry? Okay, here we go. Time to take this thing apart. Oh, gosh, hang on. Oh, new keyboard. So. Glad you got home safe. Okay. Nice to see you again today. Right, here we go. So I'm now going to remove this motherboard. Are you coming out? Don't want to pull too hard on the RAM sticks there. I've missed a screw, guys. I can't see it. It's in here somewhere. There are spacers here. So it could be this that's holding it in. I think it is. Okay, so we got... see you later, Calvin. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So look, we've got these little spacers here which are going to kind of get in the way. This is what holds the all-in-one cooler on. Alright, here we go. These things. I think these are the culprits. This is what holds this up, which is the all-in-one CPU cooler. Okay, these like standoff pins. Absolute pain in the ass. Okay. Just in case you didn't hear me, Calvin, thanks so much for popping by. Appreciate it, dude. Okay, and then we got another one here. So far, by the way, all the comments are coming in from YouTube, nothing from Facebook or Twitch. Right, here we go. It's not moving. It's not moving. Can you see the motherboard flexing there? All right, I'm not going to pull it too hard. Where have I gone wrong? Nowhere at all. It is moving. Right, I'm going to move this light. Hopefully you guys can still see. Don't really want to hold it by the RAM modules, but here's some plastic. Okay, here we go. Going for the motherboard lift now. What am I stuck on? It's the plate at the back. So you get an IO sort of plate, little steel plate there, aluminium plate. Come on, what's in my way? What's blocking it? What's stopping you from coming out? It's not the aluminium plate, it can't be. Come on. Oh, of course, here we go. We've got another mystery power pin. Bugger. It's in a really annoying place. Right, so it's here. And it's the, I think it's a 12-volt pin. Harry, I'm going to go to bed. I fell asleep in my mum's car. Lol. Okay. See you later, dude. Give my regards to family. Right. I'm going to have to... look at that, guys. Look. That. Oh. Right. Give me a sec, all right? I'm just going to clean that up a tiny bit. I don't want to bleed on the motherboard. Oh. Look away now if you're squeamish. It's quite a neat cut. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, moving on. Under here, this cable is fighting me. Okay, it's coming out in two parts. So we got, it's for the CPU, it's CPU power, or additional CPU power. I don't want to have to take off the all-in-one cooler. That would be really bad. So it's got to be a case of pulling this up Kind of getting my finger around it. Oh man, there's so many sharp things in here. I'm slicing myself to pieces. Okay, that's half the plug. That's the other half. Oh, we're out. Finally. Aha, good night, Harry. Hope to see you soon too, dude. Okay, we should be able to get a motherboard lift now. Have we got a motherboard? Have we got the motherboard free? Oh, I don't want to hold it by the RAM modules, but can I just give it a little lift? Because I think we're free, you know? I just think it's just the odd little thing catching. We're free. Okay, I can't put my hand on the other side. This is the motherboard. Okie doke. Alright, that is going to go over here on an anti-static bag. Oh gosh. Just keeping these little cables out of the way here. That went on the back side of the motherboard for the CPU cooler. Here we go. Excuse the technique. Oh my god, I've got 2 motherboards in my hands and I'm bleeding. Right, you can be rested like that. You can be placed very gently in here. Oh my god, guys. I don't know if streaming this was the right thing to do. Okay. So we have the old motherboard inside a box now. We have a CPU there, you can see it, it's got thermal paste on it, and the RAM. That will go into an anti-static box, or an anti-static bag very shortly. Wouldn't worry too much, there's not really any static generated. But it's safely out of the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'll be lining this up, but before I do, I have to take out this. This is the sort of breakout board thing for the other one. This one doesn't sort of have one. Look, it's all like that. It's all kind of like a built-in breakout thing. Is it about the same size? Yeah, exactly the same size. Okay. What I normally do is place the anti-static bag underneath and then slide it through. But I know where the pins are, and I know that I can just drop this straight down onto them. Ah, bugger, the SATA cable's got in the way. Just gonna have to let things fall here. There we go, that's on the cables. Unfortunately, I've got a couple of things to put in on it from the other side. It's fine though, this is a really cool computer case. It's possible to access it from the other end. But I'm not going to be happy until I get a couple of the screws in just to hold that onto its ATX screw mounting points, which are the same as the board I've just taken out. I need to get this on the back side of the board. And again, like I say, on a cool case like this, it is actually possible to do that after the fact. Although, while we're here, I might, before we get serious with the location. Oh, I don't know, I think we're getting serious with the location already, aren't we? I'm going to see if I can do it from the board on the back. I don't want to keep moving that around too much. Let me get a couple of screws in just so it's safe on its mounting points. Needs to go up a bit and right a bit. Come on. Is there something stopping you? There might be. I have things in the way. Well, that's one hole there. Yeah, it's one of the fan cables. The fan cable for this rear case fan is actually in the way. Perhaps I can pull it up and round. Then it won't be in the way. Right, I'm going to take that now and apply the very first one of the screws, which I think should kind of generally hold this board in place, which means I'm not going to have crazy dramas with it swinging about or moving. I'm not feeling that screw tightening. Oh, I am now. Good, thank goodness for that. Hey guys, that could have been bad. Right, let's move it a little bit. I don't want to put pressure on any components here. But it's not quite right. Yeah, the board needs to move just a fraction around this way. But the problem I've got is this piece here, I think. Just doesn't fit. I mean, it does fit actually. And there's nothing catching on it. I'm going to loosen that screw that I've just put in. It's not on tightly, but oh, I've just taken it out. God. Put it back in then. Shit. That's sorry, excuse my language. Might be telling me, might be the PC gods telling me to go to bed. Not a good sign. Right, let's take you and pop you in there quick. Do one of the corners then. Okay, here we go. Well, that's one screw in, but I'm not seeing the ATX lining up. And I'm pretty sure it's this oversized thing here that's just not kind of. Okay, let's try it. Let's get in there. Oops, sorry guys, I just headbutted you then. Okay, let's try another. It's almost like maybe bigger screws. I'll do as many as I can right now. Yeah, they're all in the right place now. This feels harder than it should be. You know? Okay, what else do we have? Yeah, a couple more screws down here. Couple more screws over there. All right, we'll try it out. We'll see. Still going. Really difficult one to do down here. You know, they don't make it easy. This is probably one of the hardest motherboards I've had to install, and largely because it's all blocky and chunky and, you know, like look at this thing I'm having to use here, you know, to kind of get the screws in. Wow. That wasn't good. Dropped a screw. I may have to take the AIO off in order to get those in. Very tricky indeed. Okay, here we go. Oops. Let me try and get this middle one here. Okay, it's looking, it feels like it's working. Okay, all but one. Will it matter? Possibly not. And I've got a loose screw, so the screw that was intended for this little hole here, I've actually lost it in there, so I'm going to have to tip it upside down and get it out. But for now, that's probably a good spot to leave it. So tomorrow, it won't be tomorrow, actually I'm diving tomorrow. But hopefully maybe after diving, some point tomorrow evening, what I'll do is I'll put the CPU paste on. We've got this, which is the Arctic Thermal Compound MX6. So we'll put some thermal compound on it. We'll get the all-in-one cooler installed. Then we are kind of good to go. I need to get my M.2 NVMe drive out of the other machine and actually install that in here too. Actually, I forgot to do that. I haven't removed it yet. As for all of the SATA drives, I'm tempted not to install them. Maybe just leave one port for the SATA drives, purely just to copy the data off them and then just change the drives until it's done, and then just archive my drives. I don't know what I'll do with them. I'm looking at a 160 gigabyte, SSD in here. It's like 160 gigabyte. No, who does that anymore? I've got memory cards for my camera that are bigger than that. So yeah, we'll just see where we go. I need to check the pinouts for this various sort of I/O. But then we're kind of good in a way. I've got a Thunderbolt card here to install, and the GPU as well. But the next thing is the pins for the board. I've got a CPU power pins here. So it's a case of getting these in. these in, you know, all of this stuff, the motherboardy kind of stuff needs to be done. And then that's it. We're good. So what I'm going to do at this point is actually close up in here. I'm going to keep the door shut so cats don't decide to sleep in here. And I'm going to thank you very much for joining the stream. Thank you if you have been. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Going diving tomorrow, checking out a new dry suit, undersuit. So that might be the new video, but I don't know, maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be a camera, maybe it'll be something else. I appreciate that. The value proposition for joining this channel is a little bit vague at the moment, but you know, getting there. Got to learn the tricks of the trade first and the skills. So thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all in the next